episode, I'd like to show you the different frame options for your brood box.
Here we have a foundationless frame that allows the bees to build natural comb from this wooden strip. With natural comb, bees can build their natural cell size and it can help with pest control. This one has wax foundation that is wired into place. You can also use a plastic foundation or even a full plastic comb. This one's a little dirty as it's been lying around in the shed. Another type that can be used for natural comb is to use just a small strip of wax foundation as a guide for the bees to build off.
So first I'm going to show you how to make
A foundationless frame.
So what we're going to need is this, your top bar, this is your bottom bar. They've both got the grooves in the middle. We've got the two sides, and then here we've got the little wooden strip that fits nice and neatly in here like this. Okay, first we're going to just glue it together and nail it. We're just going to pop a little bit of glue either side like this and across here on both sides. Okay, and what I like to do as well is just to pop some in here. Okay, just pop them on like that. Makes a bit of a mess, but okay. And we do the same with the bottom. Okay, and then we pop that one in. It's really easy, like so. And that's your frame nicely glued together. But now I'm going to nail it as well, just to make it extra secure so it doesn't come apart. Okay, so you get your hammer. I like to use this little one. And I usually pop two in on either side at the top, just to make it nice and strong. Okay. So two on either side. These nails are roughly almost an inch long, a bit shorter. They're just the ones I like to use, with a nice flat head on the top. Okay, so that's pretty easy. We turn it over. I usually just put one because it's a bit of a smaller gap here, so I'll just put the one up the top. Okay, so that's your frame. It's glued and it's nailed. So if we're going foundationless, we can use this wooden strip. So this sits underneath here in the groove. So you've got two options really, or three. You can either glue it in, just pop a little bit of glue along here. All the way across. And then that sits nicely in your groove down here. There you go. And that's a complete foundationless. So for this frame, we're going to put the wax foundation in this one. So we've got the wax foundation sheets here, but as you can see, they're a little bit short by about 1 centimetre on one end. So what we really need to do is I'm going to just drip some wax in here in this groove and then pop this one in like this. I'll just do that for you, show you. Hopefully I won't make a mess. Okay. And just very carefully, making sure you don't burn yourself. It's quite hard to get it into the grooves actually, but you get the gist. Okay, so then we're going to get our wax strip like this, right up to the edge on this side. all the way across. Okay, and we'll just let that set for a minute. Okay, once this is set in place, which only takes a minute, I'm going to get another piece of strip wax and I'm going to cut a little piece off. Okay, just to fit in this little gap here. It's only about 1 centimetre, preferably on a chopping board rather than your table. Okay, so we'll see if that piece will fit in. Yep, it'll fit in nicely.
Filling the gap helps to stop the comb from curving.
Okay, so that's basically what you need to do. Okay, with this frame, we're going to put some plastic in this one. So what I've done is I've just made up the top bar and the 2 sides. I've glued and I've nailed them. So we get our sheet of plastic. And we've got the groove here in the bottom of the frame, so we can just slip that in like that. Okay, and what we do now is we'll just pop some glue on these edges again. Then this with the groove on the bottom bar is really good for these plastics. And so just slip in perfectly, like so. I will give this one a nail while we're here, just to keep it nice and strong. With the plastic frame, you might like to just pop a nail in the edge here and then one over here, and that'll just stop your plastic from moving around. And that's your plastic. Okay, for this next frame, this one's going to be a wax foundation frame. So I'm going to make a frame again. Okay, so after we've made our frame, we need to wire it. But first, where these little holes are, we get a little eyelet, which looks like this. Now it's really tricky to get these little eyelets in here, so what I do is I grab a nail, same nail that I've used in the top. I'll pop it in the hole like this, then I stick the whole thing like that on the wood, and I give a little tap. Then I can push the nail from underneath and it's in. So I'm going to do this on all of them. Takes a few minutes, but it's all good. Okay, now I'm going to do the same on the other side. Whoops, lost my nail, hang on. Little tap. So these little eyelets that go in the holes, it just protects the wood from the wire. Okay, so that's that done. So now we need to wire it together. I've got a nice wiring board here. I won this one, but I have made one in the past, so you could always do a little basic copy of something like this if you wanted to. So this tubing here actually doesn't fit in this hole at the front, so normally it would sit on here like this, but I'm just going to have to pop it at the side for this demo. So hopefully we won't have wire everywhere. Okay, we're going to pop it through this little thing here, and then the wire goes through the eyelet, the first eyelet at the top of the frame. And across we go through to the next one. And then we're going to pull it around this little thing and through the second eyelet. This just helps feed the wire through. So over we go to the next one. And push it through that eyelet. And then around the next one. And through the third eyelet. All the way across. The next eyelet. Around the next feeder. And through the last one on that side. Okay. Okay, so once we've brought the wire through all the eyelets, we're going to grab a nail and we're just going to nail it about there. Not all the way down, just about that far. And the same down here on this side. Okay, then we're going to get this bottom piece of wire. We're going to wrap it a few times like that. Hold on to it. And tap that in all the way like that. Now you can either wriggle this off till it breaks, or you can use your little pliers to just wiggle it off. Okay, so that's that done. This is the bit that's going to be tricky because it's not on there. Okay, after we've put our wire in, then we're going to use this here, a little handle, and what it does, it just pushes this piece of wood in and makes a little bit of a curve. So when we finish wiring it and it goes back to its original position, it'll tighten the wire up just a little bit more. So we keep hold of our wire spool. We're going to give these a little bit of a pull like this, just to stretch them, and we can pull and tighten it as we go. So we'll take the first, we'll just loosen it off a bit. We'll take this first one off. Okay. It's really hard because this isn't attached on, but I'm going to pull this like so. Wind the wire up. Okay. We're going to play the guitar again, just to tighten this first wire up so it's nice and tight now. Okay, so this time we're going to loosen off the wire again, take this piece of wire off here, tighten it up like this, give it a little pull. So these two are nice and tight now. Now we just need to tighten these two. So we'll loosen off the wire again, slip this over the top and pull it, wind it up. Okay, and we'll give it a nice pull so it's nice and tight. So they're nice and tight now. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab this piece of wire while holding nice and tight and just wrap it around this nail a few times. Give it a tap. There we go. So I'm just going to press this over here, and this just releases that and straightens these up nice and straight. So here we have our nice wired frame, nice tight wire, all ready to put our wax in. So now we're going to put our wax in. So we'll grab our wax and we're going to weave it through, not through the top one to start with, but through the next one, like this. And I turn it upside down and then pop it through underneath the third one and then back up over the last one. Okay? Then it sits in the groove nicely. So I just make sure my wax is in between evenly on either side of the frame, like that. And there you go. So now we're ready to embed the wire into the wax, just to hold it securely in place. What I like to do is I've got this tool, it's an embedder tool, and what you would do, pop a piece of wood that's roughly this size, pop your frame on top. I stick this in a cup of boiling water just to warm it up, shake it, give it a dry off with the tea towel, and then we just gently run this along the wire like so, and the heat from this onto the wax will embed this wire into the wax. So I do it on all 4 pieces of wire, and that makes it really secure. So now we'll recap on all the different types of frames that we've made today and what choice might suit you best. So the first frame we made was this foundationless frame. This one's a really good one, so your bees can build natural comb off this wooden strip.
We recommend keeping the brood as natural as possible, but of course it's totally up to you what option you choose. That's why we've made our brood frames able to accommodate several different options.
The next one we've got, this one's the full foundation sheet with the wire. So the wire is really good. That helps to stop sagging of the comb. So that's another option you might like to choose for your brood box. Next one we've got is our wooden frame with our plastic sheet in. Next option, we've got the full plastic frame, plastic foundation sheet all stuck together. That might be an option that you like. Okay, so our last option was a strip of wax foundation. Okay, here we go. They can also build naturally off this one as well. So the difference between your brood box, which is the one on the bottom, this one houses your frames of your choice that your brood are going to live in. Your eggs, your worker bees, your drones and your queen will be all down in this box. So sitting on top of this box is going to be your queen excluder. So this is going to stop your queen and your drones from coming up into the Flow Super. So we're going to put this on top like so. There we go, and you'll have your inner cover on the top and then your gorgeous roof. And that will be your Flow Hive.
To keep up to date with all the latest episodes, please subscribe to the Flow Hive YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or suggestions, pop them in the box below and we'll do our best to get back to you as soon as we can.